Happy Wednesday, podcasters. Don't forget to support the spring fundraiser if you haven't already. You can go ahead and give now at RadioU.com. Click on donate. It's what makes the Riot exist. It's what keeps Radio U commercial free. So if you're like, it doesn't really help. Oh, but it does.
It does. Absolutely. We love so much, hearing from you guys, and you enjoy the podcast, hopefully.
Yeah.
That's why you're listening to it. But we can't do it without the support.
So things to keep in mind, whether you want to go big and do like $25 a month or $50 a month, or you just want to hit the tip jar and do like $10, great.
No, I'm going to make this comment. And we don't bother you except when we do our fundraisers. And we could instead do the route of brought to you by, I don't know, Squarespace or every other, if you're a podcast listener.
Make sure you mention Riot.
Or like Blue Apron or something like that. But we don't. We stay commercial free. And this is the time where you can help support. But otherwise, we try to leave that out so you guys can enjoy the podcast.
The one I keep hearing now is the bed people, where you can keep your bed for 100 days.
That one, I always hear that a lot. I'm like, oh my gosh. It's just there's certain companies, or Audible. There's certain companies that advertise a lot with podcasts and stuff, and that's all we get.
All right. So in today's podcast from the year 2010, what have we got here? Obadiah's first closet sleep of 2010.
Oh, you used to sleep in the closet for a long time.
I'm back at it, by the way.
You are?
Yeah, this week.
This week has brought it back. Mm-hmm. It's nice to see the waves of things that we do.
This was a January closet sleep, and now it's March, so
totally different.
Let's see. Oh, remember that time I gave blood?
Yeah, spoiler alert, it didn't go as well.
Okay. Remember that time I got picked up by Sports Illustrated and went viral with my Double Down?
Yes, the KFC.
2010 was a heck of a year for us,
I guess. A really good one.
Oh my gosh. Obadiah got mocked on the internet for being fat. That ties back into the Sports Illustrated thing.
Yeah, that.
Let's see. The Wii Bowling Tournament that happened that year. Let's see. Anything? Oh, man. Hot tubs in the Poconos.
Woo! Oh, I think I remember that one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there's that.
It's like the champagne glass and the hot tubs.
Yeah, we talked that. Also, in the spirit of falling asleep, I talk about me falling asleep in the shower, and you'll find out.
Well, take a trip back to
2010.
2010
back
with the
when
Riot.
Things were good.
With the Riot podcast.
It's the U.
You're a giver. We know it. You've supported microeconomies, brewed free trade coffee, and bought shoes from those one guys that always donate a pair of shoes. Want to do a little more? Yeah. Support commercial-free music that makes a difference. Do it now at RadioU.com/donate.
It is the Riot, 8772 Radio U. Hi. Today marks a bit of a milestone for me. It's the first time in 2010, and probably the first time in 3 months overall that I've gotten out of bed and walked right into the closet and laid down.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. So, I mean,
you haven't had that happen in a long time.
No, it's been a while. And, there was part of me that really was standing up and fighting the urge. It was like, no, don't do that. And then I just thought, well, something you guys may not know about my house, and this could be the last thing I've never told you. It takes forever for the water in my shower to warm up.
Oh, so you're killing time.
So and the environment. It takes about an entire gallon of cold water before I begin to get, like the first few ounces of warm water. And I'm not getting in a cold shower. No, that's what society brought me. I live in society so I can have warm water. I do think it's probably the finest thing as a society we've ever invented. The fact that I can be in my house in the winter and have warm water by just turning a knob. Don't underestimate how great that is. But, I just turned it on. And, the great thing is that I was able to listen to the sound of the running water.
So it's like a vacation.
As I laid by the streams. And I took a dirty pair of, pajama pants that I have, and I wadded them up, and I used them as a pillow.
Now, do you fall asleep, though, more in the shower still? So this is, the first time it's been the closet?
No. The closet is, I've kind of moved on from the shower, because what I've discovered about the shower is that, I have a standing shower, so you kind of have to curl up into the fetal position to lay in there. Whereas I can get some of the advantages of the shower, the sound, but more comfort by laying in the closet, which is right next to the shower. So that's a good thing, really. The only shame about and you always wake up from that with a surge of adrenaline. And then you go with that adrenaline.
You're raring to go.
Straight into the warm shower. So, honestly, I don't see what the problem is.
As long as you put an alarm clock or some sort of snooze feature in the closet as a backup plan in case you do fall asleep for a lot longer.
You always fall asleep for a little bit, but I've never had it go too long.
Yeah.
You always kind of, there's this thing in the back of your mind that it's strangely enough, it's always just as long as if I would have hit the snooze.
Yeah. Well, your body's trained for that, probably.
Yeah. So I just, and then you get in the shower and you're just
what time is it?
Oh my gosh.
I've got to go to work.
Yeah. It is not a perfect plan. All right. I mean, like, there are still some kinks in it that probably need to be worked out a little bit. But, I liked it. It worked for me.
Raise your hand if you think Michael and Nikki can do this without Obadiah. Obadiah, put your hand down. Wait, did you write this? Sorry, dude. You're not leaving till it's over. It's the spring fundraiser on RadioU.
It is the RIOT on RadioU, 8772 RadioU. So yesterday, as part of Have a Heart Week, which you can find more out about radio at RadioU.com, Nikki and I went out to a donor center and stood around for a couple hours. We tested out our Skype connection.
Yeah, if you've never experienced or if you've never donated blood, you'll go to a donation center. It's not where you're like, do I drop off clothes or
no, I'm
money?
Sorry.
It's actually something through the American Red Cross where you can find them in your cities.
Right. And so we were there, and we were going to be there for 2 hours. And I had been kind of thinking like, hey, why don't you give blood today? And, dude, I'm not a give blood kind of guy. It's not really my scene. Are you afraid of needles? I don't think I'm afraid of needles. I just don't think I want to do it.
Yeah, it's just not something you always do.
Right. And so, as we were sitting there, I was just like, you know what the heck? I'm just going to do this. Why not? And so I went ahead and filled out my paperwork and then started to get pretty nervous. But I was trying to be cool about it, but I was definitely nervous. And so then they take you in this little room, and you have to fill out a 50-question questionnaire that is, by the way, hysterical. The questions
and slightly inappropriate.
Oh, dude. I was like, can you ask these questions?
Oh my gosh, who had to think these things up?
They were wanting to know about my relations, who it was with, how often. It was just like, and I answered all the questions, and you'll see in the video later today when I post it. I was just like, hey, I'm in that little room by myself answering questions. I'm like, dude, let's answer yes to one of these questions and see if they even say anything about it. But I did, and I went in and answered no. And so I passed the questionnaire, and the lady comes in, and what I thought was great is, I was like, yeah, some questionnaire. She's like, yeah, I know. Kind of makes you glad you don't lead a really exciting life, huh? And it was just like, yeah.
Well, if you did, you definitely could not donate blood.
No, you couldn't. And so got through and went ahead, and, dude, to me, what I really thought the worst part of giving blood was when I found out they wanted to prick my finger. Like, I was okay with them jamming a needle in my arm and sucking out blood, but they wanted to prick my finger. It was like, hey.
The simple little click. There it is.
That's my finger. Don't do that. That's my finger, dude. I'm not making that up. I actually, when she said that, in my inside, I was like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore.
I was fine until you said that.
Which, again, I realize, pretty wimpy there, Obadiah. Well, guess what? Big baby here, everybody else. Like, totally. So, got the finger prick, like, hey, your iron count is high. I think they're, like, trained to say nice things about you.
Yeah.
Because the other guy came out and was like, oh, they love me here. I got a high iron count. I'm thinking, yeah, they said the same thing to me.
They're just telling you what you want to hear.
They're just saying this, trying to make you feel better about giving blood. So did that, got laid down and stuff, and then they started the blood drip on me, which I was fine. Like, it did hurt, and it stung. They said it'll sting maybe for up to 30 seconds, and it did. Like, it burned, stung, whatever. And then I'm just like, I'm fine. I'm watching my iPod or whatever. And then all of a sudden, I was like, dude, I feel kind of sick. And then I thought, you know what? That is in your head. Like, they told you that
this was going to happen.
Yeah, they told you might feel sick, and so now you're making yourself feel sick. And then I went from I feel a little sick to, whoa, I feel really sick. And so I said to Leah, I'm like, oh, I'm not feeling good. And she's like, are you sure? I've been cracking a couple jokes up to that point. And I was like, no, seriously, I don't feel good. So they laid me out flat and then elevated my legs. And they're like, okay, move your legs. Like I was walking. Man, I had to look just ridiculous.
We chose not to film this part.
Yeah, I was really glad Nikki left that out, because if the positions were reversed, I probably would have been filming the entire time.
Sometimes you just need a little privacy during your moment.
I was really lightheaded, and I'm like, I will say, they said like move your legs, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, that's gonna help, but it did.
It made all the difference.
Oh yeah, it absolutely got rid of the nausea, and then I was still kind of lightheaded, so like putting a cool rag on your head, and then I'm all done. They go ahead and take the needle out and everything. They're like, well, just lay here for a minute, and so I laid there for a really long time. Because I assumed, like, eventually someone would say, okay,
you can
time to get up now. No, they kind of, at that point, once they got your blood, you're kind of on your own. Like, hope you're doing all right. Leave when you need.
Someone was waiting to meet Obi at that time, and so I was just like, well, it'll just be probably a minute more.
He'll be here.
He just needs some seconds of his own time.
So finally I'm like, hey, can I get up now? Oh, yeah. So she's like, are you sure you're okay? I'm like, well, I think so.
Let's go get some cookies and find out.
Yeah, so I go out there, and then they're like, here, eat these cookies. And I went ahead and got some Oreos, and then the lady gave me lemonade. And the reason I was sick because my blood sugar dropped from giving blood. And then afterwards, she's like, no, here, eat some more. And so I must have had like 400 Oreos, and I'm just drinking this lemonade.
And giving it to you, your body's like, all right, we have had enough.
Yeah. And, the best thing that anybody said to me yesterday was, she said, you know what? On your way home today, just stop and get a soda, and you should feel like your old self again. And I was
they
like,
say that perks you right up.
I was like, you know what? If I have to, then I have to. I will stop at a fountain machine and give myself a large soda.
You should have gone in and wore your I donated blood or I gave sticker. Because that way maybe they would have given you a free soda.
I totally forgot to get one of the stickers. And I went home and I'm like, hey, at least I gave blood today. That's good. Yeah.
She has no idea all the stuff that went on with it.
Like, no.
Wait till you see this video. This video's coming.
I'm a hero. I saved 3 lives. I almost threw up. Like, check me out. I'm awesome. So, you know what, dude? Overall, good experience. I mean, you know what? It was a little rough, but it wasn't that bad. So I would do it again. It wasn't, again,
it'd be easier next time.
Yeah, and it wasn't really, like, weird or scary or anything. I was nervous because, you know what? I've been in the hospital, I've been pricked a lot, and when I was a kid, and I guess I was fatter then, but they were like, they could never find the vein or whatever, and so, man, they would stick me like 400 times, and I expected to go in there, and they'd be like, hee, ting, 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 and instead, they, one stick, no big deal, getting blood. That was good, because I got to tell you, after a while, after they pricked my finger, I don't know how I would have done after that.
Follow the RIOT's example and phone it in. Call 877-2-RADIO-U. Even lazier? RadioU.com/donate. It's the spring fundraiser on Radio U.
It is a riot. Dude, I just got a fantastic email from Justin. Check this out, Nikki. Justin says this. A few years back, they offered the 50 nuggets for $10 deal during the summer.
Oh, yeah?
We decided to have the Nugget Challenge at work, which
I'm McDonald's.
I'm not going to lie. I was actually thinking that very thing. Like, dude, what we do is it'll be a bit for TVU. We'll line up at 50, like people with 50 nuggets, and we'll just see who can eat them the fastest. That would be amazing. We did the Nugget Challenge at work for one lunch. First person to eat all 50 wins. Every 10th nugget had to be dipped in the glory sauce.
Oh, that's great.
Which is the honey sauce.
Yeah.
I came in second with 47 nuggets. Second.
That's a lot.
None of the contestants has touched another nugget to this day. It's just too painful. They copied our challenge at another one of our business locations, and they did it timed. They claim a girl there did it in just under 13 minutes.
The whole 50 nuggets?
Wow. I think we were reaching a half hour to 45 minutes to finish ours. In summary, the 50 nuggets can be done, but there's no turning back or going back to the way things were before.
You know, we have a fairly large event that we have to be at tonight.
Yes. No, we can't be done.
I don't think we can actually physically have 50 nuggets for lunch and then go to this event and not be sick for the whole evening.
Yeah, I know.
But if others want to do it, I'll cheer them on.
No, you don't want to do that.
Like, hey, are you Obi and Nikki? Yes, we'll be right back.
Yeah. Hang on.
No.
Do you guys always have a bucket? Yeah, you know.
That's how we roll.
It's just one of those things. I like to carry it. It's fashionable. And, you can put stickers on it or carry things in it. Or if you just had 50 nuggets, you can
use it. Yeah.
You can have a reversal of fortune.
It is better that we don't.
Yeah, dude. You know what? We should start talking this up because you could totally get Jared to do it.
Yeah, well, no.
Yeah, no. Listen,
does
Jared's
he like
the guy.
food challenges? I thought he didn't like them. He does the gallon, the milk challenge.
I can drink a gallon of milk in an hour. Keep it down. That is nothing. I drink like 40 gallons of milk in 5 minutes. That's what I do. That's easy. What's the big deal? Yeah, let me tell you what. 40 minutes into that challenge, here's
what was the noise he made?
The first, man, I'm never going to let him live this down. Here's what I hear. That was the best part. Like,
deep breathing.
At that point, I knew Jared had lost because Jared's over there. And as soon as the deep breath started, I knew he was out.
Oh boy!
He's like, yeah, and then pretty soon you heard a and then just a wet sound.
That's because we were laughing outside the door.
Yeah, we stood outside the door while I was throwing up.
We're so supportive.
We wanted to see if he needed any help.
I was going to hold his hair back.
Somebody. Yeah,
but it's
just in case. I feel like, it was all right.
I'll hold your head.
Here, Jared. No. Now you can just lay on the cold floor.
Aww.
It'll soothe you.
Well,
the 50 nugget challenge.
If you missed it, that is in honor of the big game this weekend.
Yeah.
So they're doing 50 nuggets at McDonald's and what is it, $10?
Do you have some friends doing, what is it, a chili cook-off?
Yeah, chili stuff.
Hey, you know what? Please.
Dude, nuggets would be hilarious.
Forget the chili cook-off. Everybody bring 50 nuggets. Last man standing wins. It's the riot.
The only superhero team that hasn't gotten a reboot. Keep it that way. Give during the spring fundraiser at RadioU.com/donate.
It is the riot, 8772 RadioU. So, a long-standing joke here. I don't know that we've really talked about it on the air necessarily, but we always make fun of heart-shaped bathtubs in hotel rooms.
I really don't remember where it came from,
I don't either.
It's something from back in the beginning of the show.
I do remember that we had... Man, this has been on TV's Most Wanted a couple years ago. We featured awkward hot tubs as like a segment. And one of my favorite ones is someone had converted, like, you know how you can go like to a Walmart or something and just get a big plastic tub? Someone had converted a tub like that basically into a hot tub.
It was almost a trash can.
Yeah, it was kind of. And then they had put...
a liner.
Christmas lights they had made into a heart that hung on the wall by this like hot tub thing. It was just like, oh gosh.
It was really, really tacky.
Disgusting. And so here we have this story in the Wall Street Journal of all places. And it is the history of the heart-shaped bathtub, which again, when I look at it, it's like, I'm going to get a disease in there. When I get in there, some disease is going to get me. It all started, a guy named Morris B. Wilkins introduced the heart-shaped bathtub to the Cove Haven Resort in the Poconos.
There it is. There's the big word.
I know. Now, the Poconos are in Pennsylvania, right?
I thought
right?
it was New York, but it's somewhere in between. You might be right.
I don't know, whatever. It might be, what's that, the Allegheny Mountains?
I don't even know how to spell Poconos.
It's all O's.
Poconos. All right. That's not the right word.
Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah.
He introduced this, and it ended up being in a Life magazine in 1971. There was a photo of one of them, and apparently that's the photo that started it all.
Oh,
because
really?
It started this huge boom of people who wanted to go to the Poconos. Who wanted to go on their honeymoons and their romantic getaways in the Poconos. And so, apparently...
This is an awful picture. Don't done with that. That is not appropriate.
Nikki, those are just young people in love in their tub. Their heart-shaped.
That's not right.
Oh.
I don't want to look anymore. Okay, it's in Pennsylvania. I looked. It's
You got
Pennsylvania,
it?
yes,
You
I
got
did.
it? And so This article's fascinating because it talks about how in the 70s and 80s, like if you went somewhere where there was a heart-shaped tub, like you were living it up.
It's
like
the opposite now.
And now, well, that's the interesting thing is like, to me, it doesn't get more disgusting than a heart-shaped tub. It's just like...
Well, the champagne ones. You ever seen the pictures of those?
Those don't work for me either.
I would think that would be one step maybe worse than the heart-shaped tub.
Yeah. You know what it makes me think of? Superman 2. But that's a different... we don't have to talk about it. But anyway, like you end up in this place and blah, blah, blah. Well, it turns out that even though, like, we find it revolting and no one really makes these tubs anymore, the places that still have them, business is good.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Now,
maybe it's like a nostalgia thing?
Yes, it's a resurgence. Like, for a while, it was like... I guess the Poconos, if you go up to that area, there are just tons of places that just have shut down. And they're trying to remake the area into a family getaway, enjoy the outdoors kind of destination. But there are a few hangers on, and I guess for them, business is still amazing because people still want to hop into the champagne glass and climb into the heart.
Well, Obi, it's a favorite four-season playground in northeastern Pennsylvania, so it's there.
You don't.
I don't want to know.
How about this? Here's a photo of a woman standing next to a big heart that says, "You are entering the land of love."
Aww.
Oh gosh.
Little throw up.
Yeah. Yeah. Just gag me, dude.
Oh, that's gross.
Oh yeah. Let's go to the land of love. It's like, oh no. Gosh, no.
I didn't know that they're having a resurgence, though. So
apparently it's coming back. So maybe at some point our idea of how disgusting it is will be outdated, and people will be like, "No, man, we got the heart-shaped tub with sparkles on it."
It's probably the same heart-shaped tub that they had when they first started.
Oh, dude. Yeah. So there it is, Nikki. It all started in a Life magazine photo in 1971.
Ugh.
Disgusting.
The Riot.
I've written a show with you in mind. It's for this incredibly nerdy, socially awkward person with no people skills.
You've found your tribe. It's The Riot during the spring fundraiser.
It is The Riot on RadioU. Nikki and I have been having a really good time.
If you really want to have a fun time today, search the word Poconos. And see what photos you can find. They are hilarious. This is so terrible.
Some of them are hilarious. Some of them are filthy. Like, give me a break, please. Please.
And we don't mean filthy like everyone's naked. We mean filthy like,
they make
really?
me
That's so gross. That's what the room is.
They make me feel filthy when just looking at the room makes me just like.
Yes, it does.
Oh.
It's very.
Though I'm telling you, Nikki thinks that we saw this one room. It's huge.
It's 2 stories.
It's got like.
It's got a heart-shaped tub and a champagne flute thingy. The ones that people sit in with the tub.
Yeah. And she thinks that's cheap. I guarantee you it's not. I guarantee you there is still a market that people would be like,
no, that room is so tacky. There is no way.
Dang, honey.
There's no way. I would say.
They got the heart tub and the flute.
It's 2 stories. I would say, what, 100 tops? Maybe 150?
No way.
There is no way there's more than that.
$300 a night.
No way. What
Believe
are you
it.
thinking?
Believe it. $249 on the weekdays and $300 on the weekends. Buy 5 nights, get one free.
I'm going to. It's called Caesars. Why not?
Complimentary turn down service with a chocolate on your pillow at night.
No way. No. You'd get chocolate covered strawberries probably.
You think so?
Yeah.
Hey, I like chocolate covered strawberries.
It's not wrong.
Is that bad?
No.
I like complimentary chocolate on my pillow. Though the idea that someone else has been fluffing my pillows is a little gross. Because, wait, how much?
I'm trying to look. Hang on. I'm afraid to, touch anything on the site. I can't. Sexy Sweets?
What?
Sexy Sweets.
Oh, well.
Many with in-suite pools and whirlpool baths.
Okay, that's the one. That's the one.
Hang on, I'm looking. Oh, how much is it?
I told you, $300.
No.
It's more? It can't. It can't be more.
I should go to this place. I can't breathe.
How much is it?
It's $450.
I told you.
And that's for the champagne tower.
And,
what?
They call it a tower.
What is that?
And they, see, I told you, it's hugely expensive. No way.
Oh, my gosh. What's the... I can't even say that.
Maybe you get a discount for the week.
What's the...
Don't. You know what? Don't. We can stop right now. We'll put it reverse. Let's do something else.
This is what they promote. You get a 36-inch TV in the room. That's what you get a 36-inch remote control TV.
Well,
that's not nice.
If you want to watch TV, well, now you know.
No, that they're promoting that it's remote control. Okay, all right. You get a double
That way
vanity.
you never have to leave the flute. Stop. I don't want to know anymore. All right, I don't want to know anymore. Let's somebody put it in a different gear, please. Somebody.
That's terrible.
What?
I can't say it all. I'll say it later.
There are plenty of people right now. They're like, "What's wrong with it? I want to go."
No, it's just the weird stuff. It just seems really, really weird.
Well,
that's a nice way to put it.
I got to go get my tea.
You're hanging with the Riot during the spring fundraiser.
Get used to disappointment.
Radio U.
So, dude, this was pretty freaking sweet. On Monday, myself, Jared, and Chris, we went out. We were actually doing some stuff for TVU's Most Wanted. You can see that episode of TVU this Friday on TVUlive.com. And what we did was we went out and we picked up a KFC Double Down. It was the new, disgustingly delicious 2-chicken sandwich, but it's not a sandwich. It's 2 pieces of chicken with bacon and cheese and mayo in between it.
And the chicken basically is the bun.
Yeah. And so we went ahead and we got 2 of them. And the second one I ate, which we did for the Riot's YouTube channel. And yesterday, CNN SI, which is just like something that Sports Illustrated does, it's kind of like goofy stuff of the day. And they picked up...
picked up your video.
I don't understand how on this earth there are a billion videos of people eating the Double Down on YouTube. I mean, it's everywhere. And somehow, magically, they picked up our video. And, dude, so many people have watched that video. I've got over 20,000 views on it.
And we were at what? Maybe 1,200 yesterday morning. So
yeah. At the most.
And that would have been when it started actually being on the website.
Yeah, it got picked up by Project 86 because we talk about Andrew Schwab in it. They retweeted it, and we saw a ton of people that ended up grabbing it there, and then out of nowhere, boom, it gets picked up by somebody else, and we're up 20,000 views. That's of all the stuff I've ever posted on YouTube.
Is that more than even Family Force 5?
You know what? That's what I'm wondering. Let me...
Because that would be
that's our highest. Yeah. That was usually our...
That was kind of the number we always tried to win for.
Hang on, because it's where they make fun of Super Chick.
Barlow Girl.
Or Barlow Girl, that's right. Everybody wants to watch that particular YouTube clip. Oh, yeah. That would be...
Isn't that a couple 100,000 maybe, or...
No.
10,000?
No, well, I mean...
1,000?
If it's the one... I can't find that particular one that we did. I've got one of them, Family Force 5 on the Riot. That's at 7,800.
No, that one's not it.
That's not the one. Here's
No.
5,000. Family Force 5 does news and traffic. Firefly got a black eye. I'm going to have to... You know what? I'll have to keep looking because I don't know.
This one's the new record. Good job.
It's got... it has to be. And you know what? It's got nowhere to go but up, Nikki.
Exactly.
We're shooting for 100,000 today. We're going to see if we can get somebody else to pick it up.
It was really fun to watch that yesterday.
Yeah, I've kind of on and off been watching, kind of checking in on the number to see how it was doing. So, hey, help my number grow if you want. You can go to riot.radiou.com, see a clip of it, and dude, pass it around. And that way we can have more views. And then I got to come up with the follow-up is
video.
just...
It is very, 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 very important in this part. You're going to have to watch what you're putting up there.
Actually, here's what to me is funny about it is that those YouTube videos to me are kind of... I shouldn't admit this, but it's kind of throwaway. It's yeah, we did this YouTube video. Whatever. It's just on YouTube.
Fun.
Who cares? And then all of a sudden, 20,000 people watched it, and you're like, oh, man. I could have done this, and I could have done that, and I could have done this. Crap.
So now every time they go and do a video, they're like, nope, we're gonna block off the shots. Let's make this look right. It's a very small movie.
I will tell you, I do feel like I learned a valuable lesson yesterday. It was like, yeah, let's do the best we can. Okay, everybody? Everybody try. You never know.
You never know where this thing's going to end up at.
Oh, my gosh.
Well, that is a valuable lesson.
Oh, my gosh. I'm totally serious. I really felt like I learned an important lesson yesterday. Not that the video sucks. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, it could have been better.
Obadiah tried to give his new cryptocurrency during the spring fundraiser.
These coins are worth a gazillion human dollars, okay? That's a gazillion. You're rich. That's a gazillion. Gazillion.
That's great and all, but let's start with cash.
No one will exchange these.
It's the riot during the spring fundraiser.
It is the RIOT, 8772 RadioU and online at RadioU.com. So one of the things that has been interesting about having a video that's gotten picked up and sent all over the place is I had to change the comments to moderate them because, man, you YouTube people, like, industrial strength bleach would not be enough to clean your mouth out. It's like...
You talk to your mother with that mouth?
You kiss your mother with that mouth?
My gosh.
Because I'll tell you what, she will smack it clean off your face. That's what she will do. I read a couple of them out loud to Nikki, and she smacked me.
I wasn't realizing that he was reading them out loud, and I thought he was just saying it to me, and I was like, what?
You are filthy, sir.
You need to leave the room.
You go think about what you've done. You think about it.
We are taking a break on this show because that ain't right.
Wow. But, I was reading through the comments, and I mean, dude, people have been pretty nasty about, someone's weight problem or something like that.
Well, it's mostly just, I think YouTube people are nasty.
I believe so.
Because if you're going to comment, then,
But here's kind of my thing. Like, my walk away from this is a couple of things. Number one, like, I suppose it hurts a little. It doesn't hurt that bad because, I've looked in the mirror this morning. I already know what I look like. So, I mean, having someone else point it out to me.
But can I tell you this? What you look like is
it's not that bad.
It's no way what the words that they're
saying. That.
Like,
I realize
really?
that.
You're kidding. So it's totally a YouTube comment mentality.
I totally had some people from England calling me. I could tell it was English because I recognized the words that they were using, and they were hurtful. But, I think the walk away from this is, you and I, maybe we could say nicer things.
That's good.
We could. And here's the thing that's going to shock you is even to people on the internet. Because the thing that we often forget when dealing with the internet is that the person that's on the other end of the internet is a person just like us. We just assume that they're some objects for us to mock and or disparage and or whatever. They're a person. And so when you go into a forum or a comment section or whatever, and you immediately grab Godwin's Law and talk about how they're Hitler and they killed everybody. So just like remember, or even just a comment like, hey, fatty, there's a person on the other end. And they could be hurting from words like that.
Hey, fatty would have been nice.
Yeah, that would have been kind.
You're using other words.
A kind thing that you could have said. So, I mean, that's the internet. And then maybe just in general, like maybe we could go around and today, like whether it's somebody we pass in the hallway, someone that sits next to us in the lab, somebody who whatever, maybe we could just give them the benefit of the doubt and think, you know what, the last thing they need is a disparaging word from me. I'll say something.
Nice.
Or nothing. I'll say, hi, how are you? Hey, or, the clerk that's not doing their job very well, or the waitress that got her order wrong or whatever. We could say something like, you know what, it's okay. And I'm not saying that you can't get your order fixed or your whatever taken care of.
But you don't have to be the one to teach them a lesson.
You could do it with kindness.
There it is.
Gosh, how did we get on this subject? I mean, welcome to kindergarten, everybody. Could be preschool.
I believe for those who are online need to take a trip back.
A remedial lesson appears to be in order.
Some people missed out on that opportunity to learn a little bit.
I'm telling you what, dude. So let's all take some time today and let's say kind words to each other.
That or the immature thing would be to copy whatever someone said and then go to their page and just
put it on theirs.
And just keep it like, here, I'm sorry, you dropped this off and I'm going to give it back to you.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what, Nikki? It's treat others the way we want to be treated, not the way they're treating us.
It's not fun.
I know. Seabird, don't you know you're beautiful? Yes, I do!
See, that's a very nice thing to say.
Thank you.
That's a perfect example. If you needed something, you're like, I don't know what to say to someone today. There you go. We taught you something.
And you know, if it's not Hollywood beauty, it's some other kind. It's an abstract kind of modern art beauty.
Interpretive.
It's the Riot.
It's the spring fundraiser with Obadiah.
He was laid off 5 years ago, and no one ever told him about it.
It's the spring fundraiser with Nikki.
I thought this was a home makeover show.
It's the Riot on RadioU.
It is the Riot, 8772 Radio U, online at RadioU.com. Hi. This morning, now listen, we've all fallen asleep in the shower, right?
Oh, sure.
Right? But today it's not so much that I fell asleep in the shower. I think that I experienced what like alien abduction victims and various other people refer to as lost time, where there's this period of time where they don't know what happened, where they were. It's like they blacked out, woke up somewhere else, whatever. I went into the shower this morning at 4:54, and I knew that I had fallen asleep at one point because I had a dream I was in a different shower. And that's true. Like, I had a dream I was in a shower that was different than mine.
What a mind bender to fall asleep and think you're in another shower and then to wake up, but you're still in a shower.
Okay, but here's the part that creeps me out, and I think it's a little dangerous, is that was at 4:54 that I got in the shower. And then I opened my eyes and I thought wow, I've probably been standing there with my eyes closed for a couple of minutes. It was 5:15.
That's a long time. Were you sleeping standing up or were you sitting down?
I was standing up.
Oh my gosh, that's dangerous.
That's what I'm thinking.
That's really dangerous.
Dude,
that
is not a good idea.
No, not like, hey, he's going to drown, but hey, you could fall over. Oh my gosh.
Then what? They'll be like, he fell and broke his hip.
Yeah.
Oh, is he 80?
No. He just likes to fall asleep in the shower.
He just hosts a morning show.
Wow, that's a long time. My gosh.
Lost time.
Yes, that is.
That's like, Jesus, thank you that I didn't fall over and kill myself.
My goodness.
Not good. Not good. So, man, it's hazardous. I'm going to have to start paying on a different kind of insurance or something, shower insurance.
They don't want to hear that you're doing that.
Well, I don't want to hear that I'm doing that. I don't even know how I did it. How does one do that? You don't fall asleep in the shower. I mean, you do in the shower.
Hey, your body it's an amazing thing what your body can actually do when it comes to sleep. So,
yeah. Oh, well, you know what? I'm just glad that I'm like a cat, always on all fours. That doesn't but I didn't fall. Whatever.
Do you feel refreshed or do you feel freaked out to where you feel worse?
Look at me.
No, you look worse.
Yeah, okay.
You look sleepy.
Do I look refreshed?
No, you look really tired.
Yeah, okay, well, so next time.
But you look clean.
Very clean. I have never seen you look this clean.
You're sparkling. One
thing that I would like to encourage you to possibly do today is maybe go ahead and snooze in the bed and not in the shower. Okay? So that's something to think about. If you are finding yourself man, oh my gosh, well, you know what? You could go into the shower, but I don't know how it's going to go for you. All right?
Will you come out?
You think the shower is going to wake you up, but you might be in there for 20 minutes and not know. I don't even know if I was actually in the shower that whole time. I may have been on another planet. It could be. I don't know.
Giving to all those other radio stations is hard.
All visitors will be subject to extreme vetting procedures, including a highly detailed questionnaire.
At the Riot, we make it simple.
You will be required to eat a hot dog in front of us.
It's the spring fundraiser on Radio U.
I love hot dogs. So over the weekend, something very unfortunate happened. All right, Nikki and I found ourselves on opposite ends of the bracket. We were involved in a Wii Bowling Tournament over the weekend, and you know what? Here's the thing. You don't ever want to compete with Nikki on anything because she's going to win.
Oh, not always. No.
Tell me, I can't think of the last thing we did where you lost.
No, but I don't always come in first place.
Boy,
Sometimes second or third.
Dude.
Usually, though, the top tier, I make it at least on the platform every time.
This is very true. And so over the weekend, Nikki and I were in a Wii Bowling Tournament. And of course, it ends up being the Riot Rumble in the jungle. Obadiah versus Nikki, Wii Bowling. And I knew in that moment it was over. But here's what was amazing is, okay, as we're playing, it was starting to look like I had a fighting chance, but it all fell apart in the 8th frame. See, Nikki was having a bad game.
Yes,
I was having an okay game.
So that leveled the playing field out a little bit.
Going into 7th frame, I go in. I had a strike in the 7th frame, I think it was. Going into the 8th frame, it was a very important ball for me. And what do I get? I get 3 pens the first time and like 2 the second. And that was pretty much
clincher.
Like that was the end of it, because after that, I had a crappy frame on that, and then Nikki all of a sudden picks her game up out of nowhere and is like, ting, 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 done. Done.
And that's how you do it.
And she got me. It was amazing. Like, she beat me like 168 to 148 or something, or 140. It was like 25 pens, I think. And then in the final,
I told you that was a bad game, though.
In the final, Nikki goes all the way and ends up winning like 260 something to one.
No, I think it was 236.
Was it?
Yeah, around 230.
I knew there was a 6 in there. So 236 to like 160. I mean, just absolutely destroys the other guy.
I was really tired of playing, so I think I probably could have done better, but I was too tired.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. And that's why you never, like, if you ever find yourself in a position where you see Nikki over there and you're over here, go over there. Like, go over to where she is.
You want to know the key, though? What really helps is that for at least Wii Bowling, you'll get, because there's people that I know that for Wii Bowling, they will play it like they're playing bowling.
Right.
Like
a lot of people do.
Like, they'll almost like they're walking the steps, they're doing all this, and yet you're giving it too much credit for the actual game. You have to remember, you are playing a computer. This is not actually physical for it. So, dude, just stand there, know where you're supposed to put the little and then that's it.
Did where you lost.
No, but I don't always come in first place.
Boy, right.
Sometimes second or third.
Dude.
Usually, though, the top tier, I make it at least on the platform every time.
This is very true. And so over the weekend, Nikki and I were in a Wii Bowling Tournament. And of course, it ends up being the RIOT Rumble in the jungle. Obadiah versus Nikki, Wii Bowling. And I knew in that moment it was over. But here's what was amazing is, okay, as I realized that I really am sick. Like, I can tell. I can't taste it right. I'm like, no, this is good.
Remember when you got sick, what was it, Cinco de Mayo? And we were eating at that restaurant? Obi had this look on his face the entire time, and he's like, this is not good.
This doesn't taste
good. And he really wasn't very excited to be there, and, almost to the point where it's like, well, dude, why'd you come? But it wasn't like that. It was because he was sick. He just didn't know it yet.
I didn't know it. And, I just know I've been getting a sinus infection, and I know the conversations that take place when I'm going, he's always sick. He's always complaining.
Well, you've had a rougher fall.
He's always saying that. Every time he's right, he's always saying, I'm sick. Every other week on the right, he's sick. Oh, I'm sick. I know those conversations take place in the office when I'm gone. So for a suicide jumper, I'd be like, all right, look, I'm going to have to call your supervisor because seriously.
This was the worst of the riot, and we'd like to congratulate you on having the stomach to stick around to the very end. The riot exists because RadioU exists, and RadioU only exists because of your support. Find out more and give now at RadioU.com/donate.